Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the last day of Test Automation Week and CypressConf 2025. If you're joining us for the first time today, this is where we take all of those big ideas that we learned from CypressConf and turn them into real hands-on practice. Now, before we jump in, I have just a couple of reminders for you all. Each session has its own access link. So you will find those access links in your registration emails. And this, along with all the other workshops, are going to have their own unique links. All of these sessions are being recorded and will be published out on the Cypress YouTube channel once the event concludes. And yes, the swag giveaway, it's still open. Every LinkedIn post counts to one entry. Just tag the Cypress.io page and use the conference hashtag CypressConf25 for your chance to win one of 3 amazing swag packages. Those winners are going to be announced next week on socials, and winners will receive email directly from the Cypress team. Now, it is time for us to kick off the morning session, and we are starting strong with a journey into test automation. Our next speaker, Sehani Chathurangi, is here to help anyone moving from manual testing into automation and help them gain those aha moments with Cypress. She'll share how to go from zero to confident, step by step, what to prioritize as you scale, and what life looks like once your team has fully adopted Cypress. So please join me in welcoming Sehani Chathurangi to the stage. Come on up, Sehani. We're glad to have you.
So, hi everyone. So, have you ever felt like test automation is just too hard to start with? Like it's something only senior developers can do? Yeah, I see that. So, I was right there with you today. So, I'm going to tell you the story. When I started my QA career, like many of you, I focused purely on manual testing. So, I had no prior automation experience, no mentor to guide me, and I was working in a fast moving startup where every regression cycle felt like a climbing mountain. So, I knew something had to change. So, we had fast sprint, but no dedicated automation solution. So that's when I found Cypress. So the key message I want to take away today, you don't need a senior background or a big team to kickstart test automation. So anyone can start. So guys, a little bit about me. So I am a senior QA engineer, passionate about automation, and I am a Cypress ambassador. But I definitely didn't start here. And I was a manual tester drawing in repetitive regression test at a fast-paced startup with zero automation experience. So I needed a tool that was fast to learn, reliable, and work out of the box. So that's when I discovered Cypress. So what started as curiosity turned into a game changer for my career and my company's entire QA process also. So today I will show you how I went from that feeling of can I even code to building a full test suite that catches bug before production. So this was my starting point. So feeling completely overwhelmed, the mountainous automation seemed impossible to hide. So the pace of change in the startup was relentless, and I was stuck at the bottom and asking all the questions we have all asked ourselves, like, can I even code? Where do I possibly find the time to learn this? And is this even my job? So it's frustrating and isolating place to be. So if you are there right now, I see you and I was you. And my journey went from manual testing frustration to the initial confusion and complexity of other automation tool to this, the aha moment with Cypress. So Suddenly, the setup took literally minutes, the documentation was clean, and I could test like a developer, but without losing my essential QA mindset. So it was the tool that finally made automation make sense. So, guys, why Cypress? I evaluated a few tools, but Cypress stood out because it felt like it was built for modern web developers and QA. So, it is easy to set up. You type npm install Cypress and you are pretty much ready to go, and no complex WebDriver setups. So, and time travel debugging. So, you can step through your test visibly, and this is a game changer for understanding why your test failed. So, and real time reload as you write your code, the test runner updates, it gives you immediate feedback, and which is incredibly for learning. And the screenshot and videos, when things go wrong, Cypress has your back, and it captures the evidence by default. And the community, the Discord channel, the forums, you are never alone. So for someone starting solo, Cypress felt like having a knowledgeable teammate who always had my back. So Cypress didn't just help me automate, it made me enjoy testing again. Okay, let's get practical. How do you actually go from zero? So here is the foundation I built. First, project setup. So I created a clean, logical folder structure for my test, fixtures, and support files. And I use simple tools like SL Interpreter from day one to keep my code clean and consistent. And second, the first test, don't try to be boil the ocean. Start with your most critical user flow for us. So in here, I get example as login. So I wrote a test for that and then immediately broke it into a reusable login command. And this was my first step toward maintainability, scalability code. And finally, tooling. I added a few simple plugins for accessibility testing and beautiful reports. But the biggest win was integrating this into our CI pipeline on GitHub Actions. So tests ran on every single pull request. So this is how you start providing immediate and visible value to your entire team. So you are not just doing automation, you are becoming a gatekeeper for quality. So once the basic were in place and I had few test runnings, why focus on scaling sustainable, and this is where you go from having some tests to having a reliable testing suite. So test data. I moved from hard-coded data to using fixtures and dynamic data. So this makes you test robust and repeatable. And flaky days, I learned to use step to manage network requests instead of relying on flaky arbitrary wait commands. So and leverage Cypress built-in retry ability. It's your best friend. Um, and also cross project coverage. So our suit grow and we started testing multiple micro front end, and I even use Cypress stars to direct check the database and moving beyond just the UI. And finally, code reviews and culture. So perhaps the most important step, I started requesting that developers review my test code in their pull request. So this got them involved and invested, and it started building a true quality culture where everyone shares the responsibility for bugs. And guys, here are the key lessons from my journey. Iterate often, start small, but refactor the improve continuously. Your first test doesn't have to be perfect. So, and you can ask for help. The Cypress community is your goal, and don't be shy, ask your questions. And think long term, structure your code like your team will double in size tomorrow. It will save you so much pain later. And If you are just starting, here is your simple actionable roadmap also. Set up a repo and write one basic test, just one, make it fast, and automate your one to most important critical user flows and the ones that keep you up at night. And master side intercept and custom command. This is where your power grows. Add it to the your CI pipeline and get that fast feedback and loop going. And never stop learning. Follow blogs and join the community. Watch talk like this, conferences, and it is the most important thing. You should never stop learning. And you don't need to be expert. You just need to start. And let's talk about the tangible impacts. So this table shows our reality just 6 months after committing to Cypress. So the most dramatic shift were in test reliability, so which jumped to over 99% and developer confidence. So they went from fearing deployment to relying on the fast feedback from our Cypress test in their PR. So bugs were caught early in development and not late in production, so we moved from a state of constantly firefighting to having a stable and reliable safety net. So this wasn't just a minor improvement, it was a cultural shift. And it all started with that first npm install Cypress command. So guys, let's see some test file. So I think you can see this. And in this test file, login CYJS, I have automated the complete login flow using Cypress. And before each test, it clears any previous authentication, navigate to the login page. For the first test, verify that all login form elements like email, password, sign up link are displayed correctly. Then I tested successful login using credential from Cypress environment JSON, so ensuring the user lands on the dashboard with a welcome message. And environment variable like credentials are stored in Cypress environment JSON, but that file is added to JTignore for security, and I just added use locally for reference. And there are tests for form validation, accessibility, UI behavior such as loading state and clearing error message when typing again. So I also included a test for navigation between login and sign up page and want to ensure that form state reset when revisiting. And additionally, I added created reusable Cypress command in command JS for login, logout, and clear auth to make authentication step linear and reusable across other test files. So uh, coming up next, I will share the repository. So in here, I will run the code using npm Cypress open. So end-to-end testing and start my end-to-end testing in Chrome. And these are the scenarios I added. And you can see the aha moment in with all testing pass. So like this, you can start with a simple flow. And here the repository you can get, and you don't have to start from scratch. Here are the resources that help me and that I recommend you start with today. So the official Cypress documentation is your best friend, and it's incredibly clean. And join the Cypress Discord community. Seriously, go there And finally, I have created the starter kit GitHub repository with all the setup best practices and example I wish I had when I started. So scan the QR code or visit the link on the screen to clone it and start today. So guys, so to wrap up, confident in test automation is not built overnight. So, but with the right tool and mindset, you will get there faster than you think. So, you don't need to know everything. Just start. And Cypress helped me grow from zero to confidence, and it can do the same for you. So, thank you so much for your time, and I hope my journey inspires you to begin your own. So, let's stay connected. So, I am happy to share more and help however I can. So, scan the QR code, follow me on LinkedIn, and thank you very much for joining with me.
Thank you, Sahani. I think that this was a really great talk to kind of put a bow on the conference and test automation week, especially as you've taken all of these things that you've heard across sessions. Sahani really just kind of solidified for us what you can do with that and how you can put it into practice to accelerate your journey. And anyone who has questions for Sahani, go ahead and drop them in that Q&A pod. But as they're doing that, Sahani, I think I have a question for you. What would you say when you were starting from manual to automation testing in kind of building that relationship with your development team? How did you do that and establish a trust there as you built out automation for your team?
Yeah. As I said, I started small by automating just once a I tested by scenarios wise, and I used the official Cypress docs example, and there are so many YouTube tutorials, so I follow that. And the key was hands-on experience, not the theory. And I got support from the development team, and they always supported us for coding, and they review our PRs. And once I got that first test running, I built confidence and gradually added more. So that moment is what turned fear into curiosity and then confidence.
Nice. We have a question from Alina in the audience, so I'm going to share that on screen here. Alina's wondering, are you using AI tools for test creation? And if so, could you talk a little bit about which ones you're using?
Yeah. So now we have Cyprompt. You can use it also, and there I using Cursor AI for automation. So that are the tools I am using as AI tools.
Excellent. I have another question for you. I know you mentioned early on that you were a Cypress ambassador. I'd love to hear how being a Cypress ambassador has impacted your growth both professionally and personally as you've made this journey to test automation.
Yeah, it's helped me a lot for being a Cypress ambassador. So uh, I have done some sessions like this. I participate to guest speak as a bug bash events also. So and also I did some research with how to automate Salesforce testing. So I got your help also, and I did a session. So all the experience helped me to do my career also. So I think my biggest motivation is becoming a Cyprus ambassador. So uh, I invited you to all to join with the Cyprus sessions, and there is a bug bash events also, and there are conferences. So and we are writing blogs. You can read all the things, and you can also start at writing and share your things, and it helps help to all. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, I saw some comments in chat. Back on our AI question, we just want to verify the tool that you mentioned. You said you were using Prompt, and then what was the other AI tool that you mentioned?
Yeah, I use Cursor AI.
Cursor. So that is answering the question that's going on in chat right now. All right, I think that is all the questions that we have for you, Sehani. I want to thank you. I think that the point that you made about not needing to know everything before you start is a really important one. The biggest hurdle is always just getting started. And I once heard a quote that focusing on being 1% better every day is a way to achieve gradual progress. And that feels really applicable to what you're talking about of continuous growth and just working towards being a little better each release, each test that you write. And again, we just want to thank you for sharing your insights. All right, folks. Coming up next, we are moving into the workshops for today. Now, all of those workshops will be starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So remember, they each have their own session link. Go to your email, find those links to join your chosen workshop. And all of the workshops, just like the regular Cypress Conf sessions, are being recorded. And again, those will be out on YouTube after the conference concludes. So here's what's on deck for us this morning. We have some pretty amazing workshops. We have authentication workflows with Cypress and Mailosaur, and that's being led by Philip Herrick. We also have simplifying Cypress tests by Valmir Philo. We have data-driven testing with Cypress, and that's coming to us from Marco Kolsnak. And then we also have instant smoke testing with Cypress. That's coming to us from Natalie and Benji over at our shipyard team. So we want to say thank you to all of those workshop deliverers. I'm really excited to see the hands-on workflows that they bring. And again, don't forget that swag giveaway runs through the end of the week. So tell us your key takeaways from the session. Use the conference hashtag CypressConf25 and tag Cypress.io. Go ahead, grab your session link, grab your beverage of choice, and be ready to get hands-on at 11 a.m. Eastern. We'll see you there. See you later, folks.